Welcome to the Peace Program. Hi, my name is Mariana Bissonnette, and I'm the founder of the Peace Program with my AMI 0 to 6 Montessori teaching credentials. I have spent over a decade in the classroom. I am a dedicated Montessori parent, and I have been working with families since 2016, having the privilege to support over 2,500 families in my work to support the Montessori method both at home and now working with educators and school leaders in the classroom. I work with a team of Montessori trained educators from around the world. We all work together on a single platform through the Peace Program to be able to show up for families in community and to provide education around the child's development and the practical ways that we use the Montessori method to support that development in homes and in classrooms. We support families, educators, and school leaders from birth to 6 to support our mission. We are a mission and values-driven organization, and we use our mission, our vision, our purpose, and our values to move every aspect of our work with our community and with each other. So we thought it was a pretty good idea to share with you a little bit more about these values. So our mission is to support adults supporting children during life's most critical period of development. This is why we focus on the first 6 years and why we focus our team to be heavily trained in the 0 to 3 area in the space of the 0 to 6 time frame. We know that the first 3 years are the most important to the child for their well-being for the rest of their lives, and we also know that this is the time that families often get the least amount of support. Even the support that they do get is often not child development centered or focused, and it's really hard to navigate through where to get clear, concise developmental information about what the child is doing during this incredible time so that we can actually take advantage of it and help the child reach their potential. That's why our team, nearly everyone is 0 to 3 trained, and then some of them have also gone on to get their 3 to 6 or other additional advanced Montessori diplomas. Our vision is for children to reach their developmental potential and thereby find peace within themselves that they can bring to the world. This is one of the greatest aspects of the Montessori method, is the aspect around Montessori for peace. Or education for peace. So what Montessori found was that when children did not have to fight their way to honor their developmental path, that they weren't in constant conflict just trying to do the stuff that every fiber of their being was telling them to do. If we remove all of those obstacles and just simply allow the child to do the development that they're trying to do, that actually creates an incredibly peaceful space for them to live in. And once they find that peace with themselves, they start bringing that to their communities. This, of course, requires that the child not only have access to these liberatory educational structures that are non-oppressive and actually liberatory, but it also requires us to analyze the societal structures that are oppressing the child and to liberate the sort of fuller society and to liberate the child to their full potential requires us to have conversations around undoing the structures in the greater society that are also ultimately oppressing families, and that oppression is then getting down to the child. So our vision is this is what we think. If we can accomplish our mission, this is what our vision, this is where we think we're going. This is where we invite you to be on the path with us. This is what we see the potential of helping children reach their own developmental potential. And when they do that, they will stop being in conflict with their environment, stop being in constant conflict with their adults, find that peace, and then bring that peace to each other and the world. Our purpose, we exist because the time is now for peace, and peace is only possible through the liberation of the child from the oppressive systems that constrain their ability to develop as they are trying to do. This is our purpose. This is why we do the work that we do. This is what we feel As a group of Montessori trained educators, we believe this is the greater purpose of the Montessori method, is to liberate the child from these oppressive systems so that they can do the development they're trying to do, that is a true liberation of that child, and it is compounded with those societal systems and really analyzing and taking a look at and deconstructing those systems of oppression so that the child can truly be free. And our values, we have 4 values at the Peace Program. We value self-reflection, self-care, a responsiveness to being or becoming anti-biased, anti-racist, and a deep commitment to the whole child within the whole family. These 4 values are the way that we show up to all of the work that we do. It's how we show up to each other as a team. It's how we show up for families. And it's also how we make decisions about what's going to be next in our programming, what's going to be next for our organization, and how to be in community with you and the rest of our Peace Program community. So as a mission and values driven organization, we keep very central what we are here to accomplish, where we think that we are going with this thing that we're doing, why we are doing this thing, and how we're going to get it done. This is why this is in every single meeting, every single communication. We're always going back to these 4 core elements that make up who we are as an organization and how we serve those that we serve. So where did the Peace Program come from? So in 2016, I founded the Peace Program with a small drop-in weekly support group with free one-on-one home visits for families that I held this at a local Montessori school. And from 2016 to 2020, I served over 1,400 families. I had a play space set up and families came weekly. I had prenatal parenting courses that were really popular in the community. We had babies and very, very early toddlers. The group was up to 12 months, so sometimes kiddos started walking a little bit early. And we came together as a community for 2 hours every week. And families would drop in and drop by, and we would talk about the child's development. We would also talk about the experience of being a parent. And over the course of these few years, I realized the dire need for clear developmental information to be offered for families, which is when I started to develop and ultimately published my award-winning book, Babies Build Toddlers. I published Babies Build Toddlers in 2020, and of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic, I moved my programs online. And when I think about the Peace Program and all of this work that we did in 2016 to 2020, what always came up with for us was community plus education. That's peace. That's what I felt like I needed as a parent, a new parent when I started having kids in 2014. And this was an opportunity for me to offer to the community a community space, but then also have that child development educational element that is so lacking in so many spaces designed for families. So many spaces designed for families are always, and especially Montessori ones, are focused on what to do. They're focused on what to do, what to get, how to set up the action, rather than understanding the development that came before it. The Montessori method is based on the child's development first, and then we design an environment to support that development. Without understanding the development, we don't know why we're designing things the way that we are. And it gives families a lot less wiggle room to be able to understand how they can pivot when something isn't going the way that they had planned. So Babies Build Toddlers is a comprehensive look at the first 18 months of life from a child development perspective. It's fully cited and notated in the back, but it also has beautiful illustrations done by a team of 6 illustrators, and really sort of visually displays the Montessori prepared environments as they correlate to specific developmental milestones. So what do we do now and how can you get involved? Well, we have now a virtual community. You can access at join.thepeaceprogram.org, where we provide one-on-one and group coaching to families, self-paced online courses for families, for educators, and for school leaders. We have a podcast, and we have a biannual conference. The biannual conference is presented by our facilitation team that year. So you will hear from half the facilitators in the late summer, early fall, and you will hear from the other half of the facilitators usually in February. This biannual conference is free, and we do it over the course of a weekend, and it's for families and educators alike. And it's called the Peace Summit. We hope that you join our beautiful community. Find a program that fits you. You can join free today, follow us on social media, and get our app. Look forward to seeing you there.